John Wesley, the journeyman guitarist here. Don't forget to hit the bell, like, subscribe, do all the things. We've got a new Patreon channel coming, YouTube levels. You've even got to buy me a cup of coffee button if you like what you see. So anyway, with all that out of the way, a couple weeks ago I put out a video, and it was a video about how I got started singing and what you could do to start singing. I got a lot of response from that, and a lot of the responses privately were, hey, is there anything else you can give us? It was a short lesson. We'd like to go deeper. And so for those of you that want to go deeper, let's go deep. Okay, so what I've done here is today is kind of a challenge for me. For those of you that know me, you'll know I've been singing for a long time, a lot of bands. I'm touring with a rock band called Vertical Horizon. For those of you that don't know me, I'm touring with a rock band called Vertical Horizon. We do a lot of gigs, a lot of shows, and part of my responsibility in this band is I am a guitar player, but I am also a singer, which means I'm usually singing harmonies, and a lot of the harmonies are high harmonies. And as I said in the video before this, I am not a natural singer, but I have worked very hard over the last, 35 years to try and get to be a decent singer. I've also put out many solo records on my own, blah, blah, blah. So what I've set up today is, if I'm going back on the road next Tuesday, and I don't know when you'll see this video, but from when this is being filmed, I'm going back on the road in about 4 or 5 days. So what is happening is I am going to, my typical day right about now, we would be into sound check. And so I would have to have warmed up a little bit, started making sound check happen. And so what I would like to do is to start with a warm-up, demonstrate my warm-up, but also demonstrate some singing techniques for you that will kind of get you started and get you a little further on your own journey. Now, I'm not a singing teacher. I don't claim to be a singing teacher, and there are tons of people on the internet that are great for that. But you know what I am? I'm a working guitar player and I'm a working singer. And what I want to try and do for you guys that are out there that are working, or if you're writing your own songs, or if you just, man, there's a bunch of cover songs. There's a bunch of beautiful songs that you love, that you want to do and express your own vision by doing those songs. I want to help you, right? So you're going to hear a lot of throat clearing and sinus clearing today because I'm coming in cold, and that's the point of the exercise. I'm coming in just like it would be about that time of the day where I'd have to be starting to get warmed up for sound checking the show. And you're going to hear all the crazy noises because I have natural sinus problems. I've always had them, and I have to deal with them, and I have to deal with them on a daily basis. Every single show I have ever done, I have to fight my sinuses. That means I've got drainage, my throat gets hoarse, I have to work at it. I'm also fighting a lot of weird backstage conditions. So it's not optimal to be back there to I don't get privacy to sit there and do my own private warm-up. We have a lead singer in the band. His name is Matt. It's his gig. He's singing the full hour and a half as a lead singer. So I have to provide him the space to warm up. So I can't sit there and just, when he's singing and warming up and be over there going, ah, da, da, ma, moo, me, moo, ma, moo, me, moo, and take over his time. No, I've kind of got to do it in a quiet place. And sometimes I don't get to do it much at all. So I literally will leave the dressing room and just walk around and humming quietly on my own. But let's say it's one of those days to where I've got a little bit of time and I've got a little bit of space, and I'm going to do a warm-up. Now, these warm-ups that I'm teaching, these are the exercises that will tune your voice to your ear. And I talked about this in my last video. And that's the initial phase. If you go out to see a lot of karaoke singers, they'll lock a little bit into the melodies because sometimes the melodies are actually seated within the track. You don't really hear them, but they're there. And so the ear will pick up on that and you'll start singing. But then they'll get a little too expressive and they'll start to lose pitch and they'll oversing. And so these are all the traps that can not only affect a singer, singing karaoke, but they can affect you singing at your own gig. They can affect me when I'm trying to track for my albums, or me when I'm trying to work on a gig and I find myself over singing on stage, and I don't want to do that. Now, there's a million different methodologies to get there. This is what I do. You can go onto YouTube and find 10,000 more ways to do this. But again, I come at it from the journeyman perspective. I got to earn a living, I got to work, and I got to be good enough to work. And this is what I do. So on a typical day, right about now, my throat is not feeling great. Tons of sinus problems. I'm drinking a cold drink. I probably shouldn't be. Should be drinking warm water, whatever. But this is what I have to deal with. So I'm going to start. The first thing I'm going to do is go to the key of A, because I know, for me, A works really well. And one of the things that you're going to have to do is to just play around and figure out what suits your voice. Now, big important thing here. You don't have to be Steve Perry. You don't have to be Katy Perry. You don't have to be any Perry. You don't have to, well, Joe Perry plays guitar. The point is you have to be you. And there's that whole thing, I shoot competitively, and the old guys used to tell me when I couldn't afford a good gun, hey man, just shoot what you brung. And what I'm going to tell you now is you've got a voice, you've been gifted with a voice, we all have one. What you have to do is sing what you brung. Find your timbre, find what works for you, find the type of style that you want to sing and work with that. So this is what I got. I got a sinus problem, I got a raspy voice, but I've been working at it for a long time, so let's see where I can go. Start the clock. All right, so the first thing I would do, I'm going to hum, because I don't want to get into my throat right away. I don't want to blow it out. And believe it or not, you can blow your throat out just by talking. So walk through this with me. The first thing I'm going to do is one octave of a major scale. I'm syncing my ear to the pitch. Oh, shit. No, I'm a professional. I really do know what a major scale is. I promise. All right. Backwards. All right, I can feel my tone cleaning up a little bit. And I'll play with some octaves. Notice I don't gliss up to the octave. I'm not interpretive singing. I'm not creative singing right now. Right now I'm developing pitch. I'm trying to think of it as a staircase, right? I'm trying to hit the stairs. Let's see, there's 12 stairs between the bottom pitch and the top octave of that pitch. I want to hit the 12th stair. One of the things I'm going to discuss in this video is visualization, right? I visualize that 12th stair. Now I'm going to do a second. Now I'm going to change the vowel. Now I'm going to start working that up the scale. It's going to be second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For those of you that don't know, what I'm doing is I'm singing the scale degrees. I'm just using the numbers. Now, what also that helps me do is to change the vowel sounds by singing the numbers. So now I'll sing it a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now what I want to do is I want to sing that in minor, but I'm probably just going to hum it because I want to get my ear accustomed to the minor version of that scale. And here's where it changes, goes to that minor third. Now comes the minor sixth. 7. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'll alternate it with the major scale to start working those back in my mind. If you'll notice, my eyes are closed right now because I am visualizing like a fiend right now. I'm seeing the notes. So what's happening now is I can actually feel my voice cleaning up a little bit. It's starting to clear up a bit. You can actually probably even hear it in my speaking voice. Now what I'll do is I'll get a little bit of moisture in there. In doing that, I'm also feeling my sinuses cleaning up a little bit. Although I wish it would clear up in my brain, because that kind of hurts a little. But that's not important right now. All right, so I will do that and I'll run that. Typically I'll run this. Then I want to work on some intervals. Now we discussed that in the last video. And it's kind of, and the reason I do this is because I want to get my voice and my mind out of the going straight up the staircase and into some alternating versions of the staircase. So now, I'm not typically a singer that puts a ton of vibrato. I mean, you know, I do a rock gig. And my own stuff is stylistically, you know, not requiring a ton of vibrato. And when you're singing background vocals, you know, vibrato isn't typically a great thing. So a lot of vibrato anyway. So what I've got here, I've got the octave. Shit. I'm imperfect as well. I can't put my finger in the right place. I'm changing the vowel sound a little. Okay. Now, one of the things you can do to train yourself to find these intervals and hear these intervals. Now, I don't have perfect pitch. You can work really hard to develop your pitching skills, and there is a course I do recommend, and it's a really tough course. And I actually have bought it and work on it, and it's Rick Beato's ear training course. I don't know Rick. We have no personal connection. I'm just constantly on the search for tools that help me in my craft. And there's two things that I found off of Rick's site that I really love. And one of them is his arpeggio exercises, which I thought were great. Anyway, that's for guitar. But for singing and for hearing and just learning songs in general and being a better musician, Rick's ear training course is just superb. So I highly recommend it. Check it out. Rick Beato's ear training course. Easy to find. Use the magic of Google. Now, the next thing you want to do, and this is, now you can actually start hearing my voice. It's cleaning up even more. You want to start working on your intervals, and I just use the numbers, you know, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Now I'm going to go 1 3. 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 3, and then I'll sing a major chord 1 3 5 3 1. And for those of you that don't know, a major chord is built off a 1, a 3, and a 5, the first, third, and fifth scale degree. 1 3 5 3 1, and then I'll go minor. 1 3 5 3 1 1 3 5 3 1 1 2 1 2 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4 1 5 1 5 1 6 1 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, 8. Now you can kind of hear me cleaning up a bit. And like I said, I'm no Steve Perry, I'm no Noah Gunderson or any of these just master singers, no Chris Martin. But I can get the job done, and this is kind of how you get there. So it goes back to that whole thing. What are you? What do you have to offer? What do you have to bring? Who do you sound like? You should sound like you. And this is really going to help you. So one of the things is learn those intervals, right? 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Now, there are little, it's almost like a mnemonic to help you remember the intervals. And, so there are certain songs and certain melodies of songs that I use to help me remember them. Like if I want to find an octave, I will go to Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Somewhere, somewhere. And if I want to find a seventh, it's over. So somewhere, oh. And then the ver is actually the fifth. Ver. The is the sixth. The rainbow. And so that's the way I find an octave. Somewhere. Now, the way I find a third is I just know it. I just think major chord. But the way I find a fourth is the wedding song. The way I find a fifth comes out of The Wizard of Oz again, and it's the little marching dude's song. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. That's your fifth. So a second, you just kind of got to know it. A third, I've just memorized. The fourth is the wedding song. Here comes the bride. Here comes the bride. The fifth is oh, oh, oh. Now, what is the major sixth? Go back to Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Skies are. Skies are. Skies are blue. Skies are blue. Somewhere over the rainbow. Skies are blue. All right. So that's how I can work out my intervals. So you work on that. Now, the way I get to a major seventh is I can use the Wizard of Oz thing, but really what I try and do is I try and hear that octave and try to get that pitch right next to it. So I go, So now you've got your intervals. Now, the reason I want you to work on intervals and pitch and all that kind of stuff is because if you can do that, you can train your ear to hear the pitch correctly when you're actually trying to sing. Now, doing these exercises is going to train you to hear and dial your pitch in, but it isn't going to teach you how to sing, right? Now, again, you can go on the internet and you can go to a bunch of vocal trainers and they will have some things like, sitting up straight and opening your diaphragm and make sure your mouth is moving. If I'm feeling kind of run down on a day and I feel like I have to get my mouth moving before a gig, there's the Mamu Mami Moo, and I might be even saying that wrong. Exercise, Mamu Mami Moo, 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 Mamu Mami Moo. Now I have an actual jaw problem. I have TMJ really bad, so I can't do that for very long because it hurts. It actually starts to hurt me after a while. So, sinuses, TMJ, crap running down my throat. I shouldn't be a singer, but but I'm doing it, and I'm out there, and I'm making a living. So, all right, the next thing you need to do, now this is something you just do daily, and I think all of that took, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, no, 6 minutes, 6 minutes. It's taken me maybe 6 or 7 minutes to tell you all this stuff. But now I'm starting to clean up, and I could actually walk out on stage and start singing parts right now. It's starting to happen for me. The next phase in learning to sing would be actually starting to sing. And the way you do that, you got to find songs, right? So who are you? What do you want? Are you Robert Plant? Are you Steve Perry? Are you Phoebe Bridgers? Are you Noah Gunderson? Are you Steve Hogarth? I'm mentioning some of my favorite singers, right? Chris Martin of Coldplay, just a beautiful singer. It doesn't matter whether you like Coldplay or not as an artist or what, or as a band, the songs, whatever. He's a beautiful singer. Bono is a beautiful singer. The Edge, his harmonies are a great way to start to learn to sing harmony. His singing of, I'm burping, it's, all the things are happening, and this is going to happen when you're trying to sing and you're trying to prep your voice. So now, let's say you're a guy that doesn't really have a super high, clean voice, and you kind of got a gruff thing, and you think you can't sing because you got this gruff Johnny Cash kind of voice, maybe? I mean, Johnny Cash couldn't really sing like Steve Perry. He did okay, right? How about John Prine? I love John Prine. Big John Prine fan. Now, John Prine, he you know, and I knew about capos, right? Capos works great for guitar. If you're on a piano or something like that, just you can't really use a capo. You just have to figure out how to change the key. A lot of times it's about finding the timbre of your voice and finding the key to a song that works well for your voice, right? So for example, John Prine would like to use the cowboy chords a lot. So he would just take his capo and maybe pop it onto the 5th fret or the 7th fret or wherever he wanted. And he would play a G chord. And I'm gonna try and do just enough to not get copyright dinged. So when I sing these little bits of these songs, I'm only gonna sing tiny little bits of them because I don't need a copyright strike. I wanna keep doing this. But John Prine, and this is me not imitating John Prine, this is me singing a John Prine song, and I think this is actually the key he did it in, so, but. There's a young man from a small town, a very large imagination, lay alone in his room with the radio on. All right, so what he did was he took his cowboy chords, he moved them up to the 5th fret, and he sang. A little low for me. When I actually do it live, I actually sing it a little higher. Young man from a small town with a very large imagination, lay alone in his room with the radio on. All right, so that's me singing that song because my voice is different than John Prine's, but I love John Prine's music, so I adapt John Prine's style to my own strengths. Play to your own strengths. That's the next big lesson. Find out who you are, find out what you like, and then highlight that strength. Again, I go back to Johnny Cash, I go back to Neil Young, I go back to singers with character. There are tons of singers that you hear on all of the singing shows that have this brilliant technique, and they come out and they're just masters, and they've just, they're 14 years old and they're doing things that are inhuman. But then you go, yeah, it's kind of awesome, but does it touch me? Is it reaching out to me? Is it connecting with me? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes not so much. Doesn't matter how good you are. What usually connects is passion, meaning, storytelling, and character. Now, you got to have some skill to make all of that come to life, but you don't have to be Harry Connick Jr. He's a master, an absolute master, a genius, very well educated, high musical vocabulary, amazing singer. the guy I work with, Matt Scannell, just master singer, man. It pisses me off sometimes. I'll be on stage and he'll just whip out some stuff that I'm like, oh man, how'd you do that? But anyway, it's good to be with him and working with him every night and singing with him. I get to sing with that guy 100 nights a year. It's amazing. All right, so how do you do that? Well, number one, you pick singers that you want to not just listen to. Pick some singers that you can use to start treating as exercises. Now, I've got a couple of names here that I use. There's certain songs that I will use to sing when I'm getting ready to do an album and I'm trying to get some character back into my voice and find some of the tools and things that I need. I toured for many years with a band called Marillion as their support act. I probably did over 400 shows with those guys. And there was a singer named Steve Hogarth. And Steve, just one of the most amazing live singers you will ever see in your life. If you ever get a chance to watch a live DVD or catch a Marillion show, it's a sight to see. And it's a sight to see him do it for 2 hours, because he does it night after night after night after night, 2 hours. And if you want to find out what right looks like and skill, Steve Hogarth is a great place to start. And the two songs I use to warm up with him would be Afraid of Sunlight and Beautiful. I like a lot of female singers. One of my big songs that I'll use to work through and warm up and get myself going is Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap. Hide and Seek is a beautiful track. There's a lot of passion in there. And if you, again, these are some of the things, these are some of the elements, there's a lot of expression in there. And so when I'm working and singing through a song like Hide and Seek, I'm not looking for skill anymore. Now I'm looking for execution. How do I get the message across? How do I get that passion going? And what I will do is I will take my cell phone, I will put on the record app, I'll put the recording of the artist low and low enough to where my voice will stand over the top of it, and I will record myself imitating the artist and see how close to that artist I can get. Okay, so that is a fantastic tool. We've all got cell phones. If you're going down the road and you have a track playing on the radio and it's separate from your cell phone, and you can click your cell phone on and listen to yourself singing as you're going down the road. I mean, trying to get to an accident. Huge help. It's a huge help. All right, so some of the other artists that I really connect with. Another female artist is Phoebe Bridgers. I will rave about Phoebe. I love the way she sings. I love her music. I love her lyric writing. When I get more into some songwriting stuff, I really want to showcase her songwriting skills, her poetry, and the way she connects melody to the poetry, I think is just simply masterful. And she's very young. She's only 28. And she earned it, right? She really, really developed it and worked for it and earned it. And not only the skill to sing, but the expressiveness and the honesty within the voice. Oh my God. So I will sing a couple of songs by her. I Know the End and the Moon Song by Phoebe Bridgers. Sheryl Crow, another master artist. There's a song by her called Crash and Burn. That's on my Get Fired Up to Sing list. There's another one by Phoebe, Noah Gunderson and Abby Gunderson. It's actually them singing in the studio together, and it's a great video to watch because you can see the three of them execute, and you can hear it's only two pianos playing, so you can hear every expressive element of their voices, and they all three do some things with harmony and lead vocal execution that is just masterful. And that's Killer and the Sound. Killer is a Phoebe song, The Sound is a Noah Gunderson song, and Abby is Noah's sister, and they all sing both songs together, and it's one of the most amazing performances. And if you want to be a singer and you want to learn what right is, that's a great place to start. Another absolute master and someone I've had the privilege to work with from time to time is Gavin DeGraw. Honestly, just anything Gavin does, just if you're a male singer or a female singer and you just want to know what good is, Gavin DeGraw. There's one track by him in particular that leans heavily to me, and that's Dancing Shoes. Chris Martin from Coldplay, Fix You. Massive track for me. Love that song. Love the performance in it. Now, my falsetto is not very good. I've worked to develop it. It's getting better. But there is a singer out there that can range from the lowest of the lows to the highest falsettos, and that's Bon Iver. And the song that I would lean on a lot is 8 Circle. And there's another one called Holocene. And there's actually an acoustic performance of 8 Circle where he's one-on-one and he sings to a girl at a festival in Germany. And it's just him and an acoustic guitar. And the range that he demonstrates, his pitch and his expressiveness, his glissandos, just everything he does is just masterful. So any Bon Iver, if you really want to develop your falsetto, and at the same time within the same song go to a really guttural low thing, his range is just marvelous. And then I get into the classics, man. I came up in a time when Rush was really big, and I can't sing like Geddy Lee at all, but I work on my Zeppelin. I worked very hard at getting A Whole Lot of Love down and also Going to California. Those are 2 songs. I try and sing them in full voice, and I try and sing them in pitch with Robert Plant, and I will cover them. And then, of course, you can't really get into singing as a guy without some classic Journey. Come on, man. You got to go classic Journey. All the songs, any Journey you ever want to sing is going to help you to be a better singer. Now, why did I go over all these songs? Well, these are the songs that I use to help me improve. Now, I've been singing professionally for 35 years. I've sang on stage at the Royal Albert Hall. And so you might say, well, you already know how to sing. It's like, well, yeah, I know how to sing, but it goes quickly. If I take a break for too long, I start to lose it. I start to lose the things that I had control of. So I use songs like this to help me bring that control back and to maintain it when I'm on a down period. I'm not touring or doing a lot of playing live or recording. So that is something that I do. Now let's see, I'll go over my list here. Major scales, minor scales, the number intervals, visualizing a shelf and the steps. Okay, now that's a big one. Let's talk about that. There is some performances on the front page of my YouTube channel. I have a playlist called Performances, and it's a couple videos. There's 2 videos in there from when I was touring with Porcupine Tree. One of them is a song called Way Out of Here, and another one is a song called Half Light. Go to about the 2:15 mark in Half Light, and you will hear me start singing with Steven at 2:15, stop cold. I have to hit a note that is way up there, and I can't swoop into it, right? I have to hit that first note first try. Now, how would I do that every night? I would walk up to the microphone, and as he was singing and playing, I would tune my ear into the pitch of his guitar. I would tune my ear into the pitch of his voice, and then I would start imagining that. Now, this wasn't even a staircase. At this point, I had to go so high for my own personal range. It was a shelf. And so I visualized taking my voice and putting it on that shelf. And I'm not going to do it right now because I would have to hear the pitch and all that kind of stuff. But the opening line was, it's. It's is not an easy syllable to sing. It's so long. Years have gone is the first line. And so check out that performance and you can see it happen in real time. And you can almost see me with my eyes closed, and what's happening there is I am visualizing the first phrase. And I'm going for that shelf, and I want to put that note on that shelf. I don't want to come up to the shelf from under it. I want to hit that first note, and I want it to be on that shelf. And then it all follows. Then, I can use the staircase to get me to the next pitches. Now, when you're singing lead vocals, you don't want to be, I am going to the farm and da-da-da-da. All right, so that's not cool. No one's going to like that. What you want to do is you want to put a lot of character into what you're doing, and the way you develop that character is by going to your favorite songs, your favorite singers, copying them, man, singing along with them, practicing by singing along with them. And so that's what that was all about. All right, so we're almost done here. Visualizing natural vocal timbre, recording with your phone, and that is going to get you a long way. Now, these are the things that I use every single day. And you'll hear some tapping over there. That's my dog. Go, 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 go place. Go, 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 go. Sorry about that. She gets tired of me doing all this stuff. The point of all this is this is how I work. This is how I make a living. I put albums out, all that stuff. These are the tools that I use. Now, you can't do this one time and think it's going to happen. You can't do it 10 times and think it's going to happen. I'm 35 years in and I'm still doing it. I do some form of singing every day, except when my voice is tired and I give it a rest. So what I hope is that you can take this video and take some of these tools, find your voice, find where you're supposed to be. Are you Johnny Cash? Are you John Prine? Are you Phoebe Bridgers? Are you Bon Iver? Who do you want to be? Find where you are, what you do, and play to your strengths. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. You know, a couple people wrote me and said, I don't have a voice. It's this, it's that. And I'm like, you've got something. How many people do you think told Johnny Cash he didn't have a voice in the early days? That man has a voice. He has character. So anyway, the Journeyman Guitarist signing out. I hope this helped you. It's helped me. It's what I still do. I hope it will help you as well. Please hit the like button, subscribe, pass it around to your friends. I want this to get out there to people. Ding the bell. The bell always helps. I've got a Patreon channel starting. Visit me on Patreon. There's all kinds of things you can do to help me get my next record underway. Anyway, the Journeyman Guitarist / singer signing out. Take care.